Now at 5, election officials uncover major precinct boundary errors in Montgomery County. Plus, nearly 28 million trafficking victims globally and the threat in your neighborhood. And
some lawmakers raise concerns about the U.S.'s role in Venezuela. I'm Erica Brown with more from the Trump administration on that high-stakes military operation.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Mapping mistakes could affect where Montgomery County, Kansas residents vote. This is KOAM News. I'm Dow Quick. Tensions and confusion rising in Montgomery County this morning. Information and emails from the state dating back to October were brought forward during the county commissioners meeting. The information indicates the county's precinct map does not match what the state of Kansas has on file. Those precinct maps inform residents where they vote and the candidates that will show up on their ballot. Tensions arose when one commissioner asked where the discrepancies came from and no one could give an exact answer.
I'm asking a question, but we're going to have to straighten it out and soon because we've got an election coming up, folks.
Well, I'm willing to call Charlotte.
You what?
I'm willing to call Charlotte, but again, I want to come back to I didn't know what was needed.
Well, yeah, get a hold of her. Let's talk to her. I'm sure she'd be willing to give you some information. God, she's done it for 30, 40 years, folks.
These discrepancies need to be fixed before elections take place this November. If not, the results could have lasting ramifications. Commissioner Beaver recommended that the clerk's office get with the Secretary of State's office to resolve the matter as soon as possible. Further discussion will take place at next week's commissioners' meeting. January is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month. About 27.6 million people worldwide fall victim to human trafficking. According to the UN's International Labor Organization, experts say human trafficking can impact anybody, including children who are active online.
What happens on the internet is real life, and it can stay around and haunt you for a long time. And so we want to make sure that we're critically thinking, both as parents and as children, about what our lives are online and make sure that we're sharing what happens online with safe and trusted people.
Those who are looking to make a difference in the 4 states community are encouraged to get involved with the RISE Coalition, which consists of several organizations and agencies. The Missouri Highway Patrol has released its traffic crash statistics for the long New Year's holiday weekend. It reports 5 traffic fatalities between December 31st and January 4th, compared to only 1 the previous year. But total crashes were down. The patrol investigated 187 crashes, resulting in 87 injuries. Troopers also made 112 DWI arrests. Crawford County, Kansas has issued a burn ban starting immediately and continuing until 8:30 tomorrow morning. Officials warn that outdoor burning is prohibited during this period. Residents who burned recently are urged to closely monitor their sites for any signs of rekindling. Let's check in now with meteorologist Austin Stantz for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, thanks, Dow. Conditions still dry out there, but an absolutely gorgeous day today. We saw temperatures in the upper 60s, a beautiful sunset happening for us right now. Current conditions, 62 degrees. Sunset is expected at 5:15. That's 10 minutes longer of daylight than we saw on December 22nd when the sun set at 5:05. Daylight going to continue extending about 30 seconds each day until we reach the summer solstice. 62 degrees is where we're at right now. As far as what that puts us in just 24 hours ago, anywhere from about 12 to 15 degrees from where we were 24 hours ago. Our average over 20 degrees warmer than what we are expected. But I'm tracking some showers and thunderstorms along with these warmer temperatures. All of those details coming up.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. The Trump administration is defending its decision to carry out a raid in Venezuela to capture President Nicolas Maduro and his wife and bring them to the U.S. to face criminal charges. Erica Brown has more details now from Capitol Hill.
Venezuela's UN ambassador accused the United States of violating international law with Saturday's military operation that led to the capture and removal of President Nicolas Maduro. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Mike Waltz, defended it as a necessary law enforcement operation.
The United States arrested a narco trafficker who is now going to stand trial in the United States in accordance with the rule of law.
Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, was sworn in Monday and has offered to work with the Trump administration.
We're dealing with the people that just got sworn in, and don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It means we're in charge.
Trump administration officials are briefing a bipartisan group of lawmakers on the military operation, but some have questioned what's next for the U.S.'s role in Venezuela.
You're saying you're going to run Venezuela now when the American economy has got flashing red lights and smoke coming out of it? Focus.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio also spoke with his Danish counterpart Monday after President Trump's comments Sunday night about the Danish territory Greenland.
We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security, and Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you that.
Denmark's ambassador to the U.S. posted on social media that Greenland is already a part of NATO and dedicated to the defense of the U.S., while adding his country expects full respect for the territorial integrity of the kingdom. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President Trump also suggested he could carry out similar raids in Colombia as he ordered in Venezuela. The Greenlanders, they say President Trump's takeover threats reach a completely different level following the Venezuela military action. Residents in Greenland tell Reuters that they're more worried now that Trump has shown he acts on his words. Denmark's prime minister warns Trump must be taken seriously while reaffirming Greenland does not want to join the U.S. Still ahead, shellfish farms in distress.
Beneath the surface, the ocean's chemistry is changing. I'm Gwen Baumgartner with a look at the impact ocean acidification is having on the shellfish industry.
But first, new transplant technology letting two recipients share the same liver. That's next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, it's the gift of life times two. Groundbreaking technology allowed doctors to use one donated liver for two different transplant recipients. Reporter Don White has more on the innovative surgery.
It wasn't long after Luna Fuentes' birth. Her parents felt something was wrong.
They say jaundice kind of comes and goes.
But it didn't, and Luna's mom, Ashton, noticed more issues. Doctors diagnosed Luna with end-of-life liver failure and biliary atresia, a liver condition where bile ducts are absent or blocked.
She would need a transplant sooner than later because she was already about 75% had cirrhosis of the liver.
Luna went on the national transplant waiting list for more than a year. Finding a small liver was incredibly difficult.
On November 18th, they called, her liver team called us and said, hey, we possibly have a match.
That call from Children's Health in Dallas.
We actually divide the donor liver into two. Yeah.
Children's Health pediatric transplant surgeon Dr. Young Kwan performed the extremely rare split liver transplant. Children's Health is one of 10 pediatric hospitals in the country doing the surgery.
My guess is that about 100 cases annually.
Dr. Kwan divided a single adult liver into two, giving a small portion to Luna and the rest to a woman.
The 6.5 hour wait, it was really scary.
Samuel and Ashton noticed an immediate difference with their 2-year-old daughter.
As soon as she got back, it was like a switch went off. She wanted to eat pizza.
Luna had 2 bouts of rejection. Doctors got under control. Her prognosis is excellent.
Luna should be able to live a normal, healthy life, just like a regular people.
They saved our family, and man, I am so grateful and for the family that made that hard decision.
She's able to achieve things because of their sacrifice.
The Children's Health organ transplant wall includes hundreds of names, including Luna's, whose life is forever changed. Dawn White, CBS News, Texas.
The COVID virus is still having a big impact on elderly people in the U.S. It's according to a study published in JAMA, which found people over 65 make up 2/3 of COVID hospitalizations and 80% of COVID deaths. Getting vaccinated and receiving early treatment can prevent COVID from becoming severe. For the first time in more than 30 years, the U.S. has surpassed 2,000 measles cases. That's according to new CDC data. The last time cases topped 2,000 was back in 1992. Ongoing outbreaks, including one in South Carolina, keep adding dozens of cases weekly. While measles was declared eliminated in the U.S. in 2000, health officials warn that if cases keep rising through late January, the country could lose that elimination status. And teens spend about 1 hour of their school day on their phones. A study published in JAMA found half of that time is spent on social media like TikTok, and the rest is spent on YouTube and games like Roblox. The study also found teens from low-income households tended to spend more time on their phones during school hours than teens from more affluent homes. There are new guidelines for cervical cancer screening in the U.S. The Department of Health and Human Services now says self-testing for HPV is recommended, which will hopefully lead more people to get tested. HPV can cause cervical and other cancers. However, cervical cancer is a preventable type of cancer thanks to the HPV vaccine. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the environmental threat to shellfish farms.
And while we're expecting unseasonably warm temperatures through the midweek, showers and storms are on the way. I'll have details on when you can expect those to arrive. That was an absolutely gorgeous start to the week, and how long can we expect these conditions to last? Let's talk about that a little bit. We have this nice warm front that's going to shoot northeast here, bring those warm temperatures, unseasonably warm temperatures, back to our area again tomorrow. What you see here is this surface trough, or just a little bit of low pressure here. This isn't going to be a classic front, but we could see just a few sprinkles early Tuesday morning. Behind that, we have a cold front that passes Tuesday evening. The good news is that it's not a very strong cold front, and we're going to see those warm temperatures return on Wednesday. We have some high pressure that's also going to move in tomorrow. That's going to help clear some skies for us as we head into Tuesday afternoon. Take a look as we head into the evening tonight. 55 degrees still by midnight tonight, a very mild evening out there. Heading into the overnight hours here, here's that brief chance of just a very isolated sprinkle that I was mentioning just a minute ago. We see that there, but we're going to see clouds begin to move out of the area as we head into the afternoon hours. Sprinkle chances basically evaporate from the forecast there heading into your Tuesday. Back into the 60s, going to try to get into the mid 60s across the region here. Could see anywhere from 62 to around 65 degrees across the region there. Heading into Tuesday evening, or excuse me, Tuesday overnight, we have that cold front that passes. Temperatures back down into the upper 30s there, so it's going to be a little bit cooler out there. But then as we head into Wednesday, here's where we start to see some changes. We're back in the upper 60s, maybe even near 70 at times. We're going to see some mostly cloudy conditions begin to move in to the region. That's going to contain some of that warmth heading into Wednesday evening, but this is all that moisture that is beginning to move into the area that's going to enhance those storm chances for us. Now, this part is very important. If we see storms, showers, thunderstorms beginning to move in Thursday early morning hours, that is going to take a lot of our instability and energy out of the atmosphere here. So if these do pass early in the morning like that, which we're going to keep a very close eye on, could pose some problems for that morning commute. Behind that, we're going to see some more showers and thunderstorms, but that first round, that, like I said, would take out that instability out of the atmosphere. A lot of this is just going to be heavy, sustained rainfall at that point then. So it's almost kind of like a static shock, right? The atmosphere is charged. You touch something, you get that shock. Well, once that shock is gone, all that energy is gone. So if that first round of showers and thunderstorms passes that early in the morning, that could really help set the tone that we're just going to see some heavy rainfall throughout the day. So we're going to keep a very close eye on that heading into Thursday. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, Friday, a wintry mix possible on the back edge of that system, maybe a flurry or two as temperatures going to fall into the lower 30s overnight. But then we're a little bit cooler on Saturday, 48 degrees there. Heading into Sunday, we clear out. It's sunny, mild temperatures above average. Taking a look at your extended 10-day forecast, take a look. Tuesday, 50 degrees. We're going to see January start to kick in the back half of the month here, where it's going to get much cooler, and the potential for a winter system heading into that third week of January.
But in the meantime, some unseasonably warm temperatures.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Austin. Coming up, what's dissolving oyster shells and threatening an entire industry? Topping today's Consumer Watch, the future of shellfish is a bit murky as oceans rapidly become more acidic. Washington shellfish farmers are sounding the alarm on ocean acidification. Gwen Baumgartner explains the potential impact on oysters, seafood prices, and shellfish farming.
Beneath the surface of Samish Bay, a growing crisis swells as shellfish farmers like Bill Dewey navigate a more acidic ocean.
Our fate's pretty well sealed for many decades to come.
15 years ago, ocean acidification nearly wiped out West Coast oyster farming, with huge oyster die-offs as the water corroded their shells. To survive, shellfish farmers were forced to mitigate, investing in research, water treatment systems, and programs to breed more resilient oysters.
But we didn't fix the problem. You know, ocean acidification is still there. It's getting worse, and it's going to continue to get worse as long as we don't wean ourselves off of fossil fuels.
Ocean acidification happens when CO2 emissions are absorbed into the water, changing the ocean's pH chemistry and its ecosystem. Increasingly so, says researcher Terry Klinger.
The change in pH in the ocean is something that is certainly unprecedented in modern history.
Future consumers could be in for a sea of change.
You may see us selling different species. You know, whether we'll be able to continue to farm our main species, the Pacific oyster, or not is yet to be seen.
A small study by researchers in Gothenburg, Sweden, identified changes in shrimp taste and texture when ocean acidification increased. And the EPA's National Center for Environmental Economics forecasts higher shellfish prices if current rates of ocean warming and acidification continue.
You've got a few more years left than me, but you're going to see changes in the ocean that'll be dramatic in our lifetime.
Reducing fossil fuels is crucial, says Dewey, to turning the tide on shellfish sustainability. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Bo, Washington.
The West Coast is one of the hardest hit areas in the world by ocean acidification. Dewey says significant changes to oyster prices and supply are still years away, but expects the industry to undergo noticeable changes within a generation. Tesla is no longer the world's best-selling electric vehicle. Chinese rival BYD has claimed the title with more than 2.2 million EVs sold last year versus more than 1.6 million vehicles sold by Tesla. Analysts say Tesla's sales were affected by backlash against CEO Elon Musk's involvement in politics, the expiration of EV tax credits in the U.S., and tough competition from overseas. Avatar: Fire and Ash has now burned past more than $1 billion in global sales. The sequel also topped the first weekend box office of the new year, earning an estimated $40 million domestically in its third weekend in theaters. Disney's sequel, Zootopia 2, is still in second, bringing in $19 million. The Housemaid rounded out the top three with around $15 million. IHOP is kicking off the first full week of 2026 with an offer of free bottomless pancakes with the purchase of select breakfast combos. The restaurant chain teamed up with NFL star Malik Neighbors to announce the promotion, which runs through the end of March. Final check of the forecast up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News tonight, President Maduro and his wife pleaded not guilty in a New York City courtroom to federal drug charges. We're going to break down the U.S. case against the former Venezuelan president. Then on KOAM News at 6, learn more about human trafficking awareness in the area, plus more on the Montgomery County questions about precincts and spring garden preps. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. The weather pretty warm out there for this time of year.
Yeah, unseasonably warm, and we're going to get to see and experience some more of those temperatures heading into the middle part of the week. But the next 24 hours is going to be crucial in terms of accumulating data, as that's going to provide some clarity on the timing for these storms. It's not really if we're going to see rainfall, but just a matter of when and how much, anywhere from about a half an inch upwards to 1.5 inches.
Certainly needed. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.